So you're probably diving into the whole pre-K search here in Austin, right?
Yeah.
It's exciting, but yeah, maybe a little overwhelming too.
Oh, definitely. So many options. You want to get up to speed quickly, but without feeling like you're buried under tons of info.
Exactly.
Think of this as, well, a bit of a shortcut. We've gone through a recent deep dive. It was a really thorough look at Austin's private pre-K options from April 2025 by Kelly Davis.
Right.
Our plan is basically to unpack that and pull out the highlights, the really important bits, so you feel more confident making a choice.
Yeah, because it's about more than just like learning letters early on, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's about sparking that curiosity, figuring out what makes your kid tick, maybe even uncovering talents you didn't know were there.
And Austin's got such a unique vibe, that whole innovative, creative spirit. It seems like that really comes through in the schools too.
It does. I mean, what was interesting in the source we looked at was how it kept pointing to a few key themes. How early education itself is changing, the shift towards more progressive teaching, how tech is being integrated but thoughtfully,
Yeah.
and just the sheer variety of private pre-Ks available here. It's quite a landscape.
Okay, well, let's maybe jump into some of the specific schools then. The source gave a good look at several, each with a different flavor. Alpha School caught my eye. Sounds very Austin. Very innovative.
It really does. Alpha School, they've got their campus here, and they're actually expanding to Palm Beach soon, I think fall 2025. They're definitely making a statement about rethinking early ed.
How so? What's their main approach?
Well, their big idea is efficiency, powered by AI. They structure the day so kids cover the core academic stuff in just 2 hours.
2 hours, wow.
Yeah, using AI that adapts to each kid's pace. It's very personalized. This kind of approach, using AI so early, it might signal a bigger shift away from purely teacher-led models.
AI in pre-K, that's definitely thinking differently. What happens after those 2 hours then?
That's when they switch to creative workshops. Things like robotics, coding, different kinds of art. The idea is to build, critical thinking, independence, practical skills.
Okay, so the pros seem pretty clear. Super efficient learning, that tailored AI piece, the creative workshops. It sounds very progressive. But what are the potential downsides or things to maybe consider?
Well, it's a newer model, so they don't have that long track record yet. The source mentioned that. And the methods are pretty unconventional, which, might not feel comfortable for every family.
Right.
Also, while they're here in Austin, the source noted their main operations were discussed alongside that Palm Beach expansion, so maybe something for local families to just clarify.
Got it. So if your family really looking for something revolutionary, maybe outside the usual box, Alpha seems like one to definitely check out.
Yeah.
Now, switching gears quite a bit, maybe Brentwood Christian School. This sounds more traditional, more established.
Exactly. Brentwood Christian School really emphasizes its history, its academic rigor. It's a full pre-K through 12th grade school centered on Christian values. So it offers that consistent path, which appeals to families looking for that continuity. And it reflects, a significant part of the Austin community that really values faith-based education.
Yeah.
Shows the diversity of needs here.
And it's not just academics, is it? I think the source mentioned character development, too.
No, you're right. Their whole philosophy is about blending strong academics with deliberate character development based on Christian principles. They use technology, but within traditional teaching frameworks. And they also put a big emphasis on service learning.
Okay. So benefits,
Yeah.
high academic standards, that holistic character growth focus, and the stability of pre-K to 12. What about potential cons or things to weigh?
Well, the strong religious focus is key. It's great if that aligns, but might not be for everyone. And the source hinted that class sizes might potentially be a bit larger than some of the smaller, more specialized places.
Makes sense. So Brentwood could be a really strong fit for families wanting that academic excellence tied closely with spiritual growth and a supportive community feel.
Definitely.
Okay, next up, Austin Waldorf School. Waldorf education always strikes me as having a very distinct philosophy.
It really does. Austin Waldorf offers a very holistic approach. Big focus on artistic expression, learning by doing, hands-on stuff, and a real connection with nature. They also go from pre-K through 12th grade.
And their core philosophy.
It's rooted in Waldorf education, that head, heart, hands idea. So Blending arts, practical skills, intellectual learning. You see lots of movement, music, storytelling, being outdoors. And interestingly, they deliberately limit technology exposure, especially in the early years.
That head, heart, hands.
Yeah,
It's about balance, right? Engaging the mind, emotions, and practical skills together.
precisely. It's about developing the whole child in a balanced way.
That limited tech is definitely a choice that stands out today. So pros seem to be fostering creativity, strong community, social responsibility focus, that whole child development. What might be drawbacks?
Well, the Waldorf model itself is alternative, so it might not click with families who prefer more conventional schooling methods. And yeah, that limited early tech is a specific choice families need to be comfortable with.
Right. So if creativity, independent thinking, and a strong link to arts and nature are high on your list, Waldorf sounds like a really unique, nurturing option.
It really does.
Okay, moving downtown now. Cathedral School of St. Mary,
Yep, right in the heart of Austin. Cathedral School of St. Mary offers a faith-based education, this time in the Catholic tradition. It goes from pre-K through 8th grade.
and their philosophy.
They aim to balance moral and intellectual education. They've got modern bilingual programs, which is a nice feature, and community service is built right into the curriculum. That focus on moral development alongside academics is central.
That moral dimension, plus the bilingual programs, those sound like strong points. What considerations should families have?
Well, it stops at 8th grade, so you'd need to plan for that high school transition. And of course, the curriculum is closely tied to Catholic beliefs, so that needs to be the right fit for the family.
Understood.
Mm.
So a good option for families seeking academic and spiritual growth within that specific faith community.
Exactly.
Now, this next one sounds really interesting. Elite Academy Music Montessori. That blend sounds unique.
It is pretty distinctive, yeah. Elite Academy caters to the younger crowd, 6 weeks up to 6 years old. And it combines that self-directed Montessori learning style with a really strong emphasis on music.
Montessori, so kids learn through exploration in a prepared environment.
Right. And then they weave music into everything, instruments, rhythm, melody. The idea being it boosts cognitive development and fosters a love for the arts right from the start.
Sounds like a lovely, engaging space for little ones. What are the pros and cons we should think about?
Pros are definitely cultivating independence and that musical appreciation early on. It's described as a warm, nurturing place focused on social and emotional growth, too.
Okay.
On the other hand, the age range is limited, so you know you'll need a plan for after age 6. And the focus might be less on, say, a traditional academic track compared to some others.
Got it. So perfect, perhaps, for parents wanting that nurturing mix of independence and musical creativity in those really early years.
Could be a great fit.
All right, next is Paragon Prep. What's
Yes.
their reputation or main focus?
Paragon Prep is known for a curriculum that really zeroes in on critical thinking and social emotional learning. They serve preschool through middle school.
And their philosophy, how do they approach that?
They really celebrate play and exploration as like fundamental to learning. They offer enrichments, languages, arts, PE, and foster an environment where kids feel safe to take risks, solve problems, think creatively. It's very community focused too. It aligns with that progressive idea that play is learning.
That focus on play feels so crucial for early childhood. So advantages, disadvantages.
Big advantage is that strong focus on social skills and emotional intelligence. They also apparently offer adaptable scheduling, which is a huge plus for families.
Oh, definitely.
Considerations might be that the play-centric approach might not feel academic enough for some parents' expectations early on. And maybe their tech resources aren't as extensive as some others mentioned in the source.
Okay, so if you strongly believe play and social skills are the bedrock for future success, Paragon Prep sounds like it really embodies that.
It certainly seems to.
And finally, we have Trinity Episcopal School. What's their story?
Trinity Episcopal offers a very student-focused experience within a nurturing Episcopal framework. They go from pre-K through 8th grade and really emphasize both academic achievement and community enrichment.
How does that translate into their teaching?
Their philosophy is about weaving critical thinking into all the lessons, making connections between subjects, interdisciplinary links. They aim for a balance between academics, arts, and athletics. Plus, they offer strong support services for kids with diverse learning needs. It's quite an encompassing approach.
Sounds really well-rounded and supportive. What are the main highlights and things to keep in mind?
The highlights are definitely that broad curriculum, promoting both artistic and intellectual growth, and a strong sense of community that instills values. On the flip side, the source did note that tuition fees can be high.
Ah, okay. a practical consideration.
Yes. And, like some others, the religious aspect, the Episcopal framework, needs to be a fit for the family.
Right. So if you're looking for strong academics, character building, community involvement, and the Episcopal tradition resonates, Trinity seems like a strong contender, budget permitting.
That sums it up well.
Okay, so we've looked at a bunch of specific schools, but the source also had some, broader advice for parents navigating this whole decision, right?
Yeah. It absolutely did. And it really started with, understanding your own child, taking the time to observe what they're interested in, what kind of setting helps them thrive, what's their learning style like.
That feels fundamental. Every kid is different.
Totally. What works wonders for one might not for another. The source also stressed matching the school's values with your family's values.
Uh-huh. Like what?
Like whether faith is central, or maybe diversity is a top priority, or perhaps you're drawn to that innovative spirit we talked about, or you see technology is really key. Finding that alignment makes for a smoother experience.
And exploring those different educational philosophies we touched on, Montessori, Waldorf, progressive, that's important too.
Yeah, really getting a basic handle on what those mean. Understanding the core ideas behind each approach helps you figure out which one might naturally suit your child and, your own beliefs about how kids learn best.
And there are the practical things, of course.
Oh, yeah. Can't forget those.
Mhm.
Location, 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 right. How does the commute fit? What are the class sizes like? Does the school go through the grades you need, or will there be another transition later? All key logistics.
And the source really pushed for visiting the schools.
Absolutely. It emphasized how valuable tours are. Seeing the place, maybe observing a classroom, talking to the teachers. It gives you a feel for the atmosphere that you just can't get from a website.
You get that gut feeling, maybe?
Exactly. And it's not just about looking, but asking good questions, too.
Like what kind of
It's
questions?
like, how do they support different learning styles? What's their actual policy on screen time or technology? How do they communicate with parents? Is it emails, apps, regular meetings? Getting clear answers helps a lot.
That makes sense. Oh, and didn't the source mention some kind of comparison table?
It did. An at-a-glance comparison table sounded super useful, like a quick chart showing location, grades, maybe enrollment size, student-teacher ratio when it was founded, accreditation, affiliations, all the key facts side by side.
That sounds like a lifesaver when you're trying to keep track of everything.
Definitely a handy tool.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the main takeaway you'd want someone listening to hold on to?
I think the biggest thing is that there's no single best pre-K. The source hit this in its FAQ section too. It's really truly about understanding your child and your family. What are your unique needs, your priorities, your values?
Right. It's a personal decision, not a competition.
Exactly. And what we've seen today is just how incredibly diverse the private pre-K scene is here in Austin. You got everything from, really groundbreaking, tech-forward schools to ones deeply rooted in tradition and specific values.
A lot to explore.
A huge amount. So for you listening, view this whole process as, well, an exciting journey. Use these insights, maybe dig a bit deeper into the schools that resonated, and trust that you'll find that great nurturing spot here in Austin where your child can really start to blossom.